Please be seated. I'd like to acknowledge Bond alumnus Pipe Sergeant Nick Tompkins and vocalist and Bond student Sasha Mortimer. Please join me in thanking them. It's now my pleasant duty to introduce Bond University's Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Brailsford.
Your Excellency, graduands, current and former Queensland Supreme Court Justices, Federal Court Justices, distinguished guests, Bond University colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Bond University's graduation ceremony. We are all the better for your presence here today, and I trust that you enjoy today's ceremony and to the graduands experience a truly wonderful day. Let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and I pay my respects to elders past and present, and I do so in the spirit of reconciliation. Bond University is now in its 27th year. The university has successfully sailed through some turbulent waters in its youth, but has now emerged as a beacon of higher education quality. Our university stands in an excellent position. We have exceptionally strong demand for our academic programs, so much so that each year it is quite heartbreaking to have to turn away outstanding applicants for several of our programs. Last year, we were again awarded the maximum 5 stars for quality of our teaching, and that was for the 10th successive year. The Australian Government has recently released a set of quality indicators. They go by the acronym of QUILT, Quality Indicators of Learning and Teaching, and these are now published on a national website. Bond University is ranked first in the nation for most of those quality indicators, and most importantly, for the quality of our teaching and instruction, for learner engagement, and for overall student satisfaction. Our academics are among the most committed and dedicated staff that I have ever worked with. And our support staff are simply exceptional in their care of our students, as I'm sure you will testify. In short, the future is very bright for Bond University, and I trust the same is equally so for each of you, graduands in the graduating class. I'm sure that many of the graduands here today, and perhaps some of their families, friends, and indeed just general supporters, you're feeling mixed emotions this morning, and this is no less true for the university. At the beginning of each semester, and as you know, we run 3 semesters per annum. At the beginning of each semester, we eagerly await and welcome our commencing students. We share with them the joy of having arrived at the next stage in their journey in life. And we share their excitement and no doubt a small amount of trepidation as they embark upon their journey here at Bond. But just as we celebrate their arrival, we also celebrate their departure. And today is about acknowledging their achievements. But just as we do that, it is sad to see you go. Many of you will have made great friends, met some fantastic colleagues, and you will share lifelong experiences and friendships together. Around the room, you will see the flags of various nations. Each of these flags symbolises graduates from that nation. And as you look around the room, there are indeed some flags which I could not name, but it demonstrates the breadth and reach and diversity of this institution. We have embraced, since our inception, internationalisation and do so proudly still today. To our graduands, soon-to-be graduates, be proud of your achievements, bask in the limelight and soak up your memories. This is your day, a day to enjoy, a day to celebrate, and a day to reflect. And while today is a special day for our graduands and their families and friends, it is no less a special, momentous and very auspicious day for the University's 8th Chancellor, Dr. Annabel Bennett, AO-SC. The Chancellor is presiding at her very first graduation ceremony, having been appointed in just April this year. Dr. Bennett recently retired as a judge of the Federal Court of Australia. She has a wide-ranging background and is regarded as an international specialist in property law. She initially graduated with an honours degree in science, going on to complete a PhD in cell biology. A little bit of a different background for a lawyer. In 1980, she did change discipline to follow a lifelong interest in the law and completed an LLB at the University of New South Wales to complement her science studies at the University of Sydney. Dr. Bennett's career in the law moved her into the area of intellectual property, complementary, of course, with her scientific background. She was admitted to practice in New South Wales and elsewhere and quickly developed expertise in intellectual property, administrative law and professional misconduct. Appointment as a senior counsel was inevitable and she was appointed to a series of subsequent prominent roles and boards. In addition to her substantive judicial role, Dr. Bennett has served as President of the Copyright Tribunal of Australia, Arbitrator of the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, very topical at the moment, obviously with the Olympics. She has also been a presidential member of the Administrative Appeals Tribunal and an additional judge of the Supreme Court of the ACT. But outside of the law, Dr. Bennett has an extraordinary breadth and depth of experience in science. She has served on boards and committees as diverse as pharmacy, forensic sciences, gene technology, vaccines, AIDS, and most significantly, as chairperson of the National Health and Medical Research Council. Such a combination of expertise and breadth of knowledge is rare indeed. Previously, Dr. Bennett served for over a decade as Pro-Chancellor of the Australian National University. Chancellor, the entire university community is delighted to be able to work with you and to welcome you to the benefit of our students and our alumni. The Chancellor possesses warmth of character, a cheeky sense of humour, and one that our community is already finding welcoming and inspiring. Chancellor, will you please rise? I now ask the Company Secretary to come forward to commence the formal process of installation of the University's 8th Chancellor.
I certify to the University that at a validly convened meeting of the University Council held on the 19th of April 2016, Annabel Claire Bennett was elected Chancellor in accordance with the Constitution of Bond University Limited. The office of Chancellor is an ancient and an honourable one that requires the holder to accept responsibilities and to discharge obligations in respect of the University. Acceptance of the role of Chancellor also bestows certain rights and privileges on the holder of that office. Annabel Claire Bennett, do you accept the role of Chancellor of Bond University and the rights, privileges, responsibilities and obligations that attach to the role of Chancellor?
I accept.
I now invite the Vice-Chancellor to assist the Chancellor into the robes that signify her high office. During the academic procession, you will have noticed that the Pro-Vice-Chancellor, acting as Esquire Bedell, was carrying a club-like object. That object is the ceremonial mace. The mace, which was historically used as a weapon, dates from the Middle Ages. Later, it was appropriated as a symbol of authority by military commanders and in royal courts. It has since evolved to become a decorative and a ceremonial object. Modern usage of the mace as a symbol of authority is largely limited to Parliament, ecclesiastical use, and in universities to signify the authority of the Chancellor. The Bond University mace is made from native Australian timber and precious metals, with the university crest, which was designed by Michael Bryce AM, in enamel bezel set to the head of the mace. It was generously donated to the university by long-time benefactors, the late Dr. John Carney, AMQC, and Dr. Alison Carney. I now invite the 7th Chancellor, Dr. Helen Nugent AO, to present the mace to the 8th Chancellor. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 8th Chancellor of Bond University, the Honourable Dr. Annabelle Bennett, AOSC. I now invite the Chancellor, properly installed, to address us.
Your Excellency, first may I say what a privilege it is to have you here at this graduation ceremony and my installation. Not only is it wonderful for me personally, but it's a great honour for Bond, and it's a recognition of the place that this university has as a university as part of in Queensland and in the nation, and we thank you. I'm also thrilled to see here many of my formerly judicial colleagues. I only retired from the Federal Court in March of this year, and it is absolutely wonderful to see judges from the Queensland Registry of the Federal Court and also from the State Supreme Court and a former Justice of the State Supreme Court. And it is an honour to me and to the university that they've given up this time which could have been spent otherwise in that wonderful occupation of writing reserved judgments. In particular, I'd also like to thank Dr. Jane Wilson, the Acting Chancellor of the University of Queensland, for being here today. We recently were together as participants in a trade mission and we formed a wonderful relationship, and I know that that will continue now through the universities as well. Everybody else is here, and it's wonderful for me to see you, to the members of Bond University, faculty members, family members, and of course, most importantly, to our new graduates. Welcome to everyone. It's wonderful to share this very special moment, and I'm grateful that the new graduates have let me share their moment of triumph. The fact is that I didn't ask them if it was okay, but on the other hand, they haven't rioted. This ceremony marks a new venture for me and for Bond University. The university has made a commitment and evidenced trust to appoint me as the 8th Chancellor. By accepting the appointment, I also make a commitment to do my very best as Chancellor for the entirety of my term. Since I have had the chance to be at Bond, the one thing that has been totally apparent to me is what a very special place this is. The joy, and I think it's mostly evidenced by what I can only describe as the joy of being here. Everyone I've spoken to, staff and students, has been happy and fulfilled and committed to the university, and I've never heard anyone speak so enthusiastically of their time as a university student. A measure of what can be done by a Chancellor has been set by my predecessor, Dr. Helen Nugent, who's here today, and although it's not really done, passed the mace to me as the token of the transfer, not of interest or of ongoing contribution to the university, but the role of Chancellor. Helen, like her predecessors, has had a unique impact on Bond. As I've spoken to her about the university, I've come to appreciate how much she cares for it and how dedicated she's been to ensure that everything runs efficiently and that she draws the most from the members of the University Council. The passing of the mace may be unusual, but we decided it was better than a passing of the gown, which would look like the crowning of a Miss World pageant. We all know that in those cases the recipient starts crying, and I'm feeling far too happy to fulfil that requirement. Members of the University Council are here today. It's very exciting to be working with such capable and experienced people. I already have a sense of the commitment and collegiality of each council member, and I know that we will work to ensure that we give of our best. This sounds trite but true. The Vice-Chancellor and the members of the Executive and the faculties have also been very generous in their acceptance of me and have imparted the spirit of fun that is part of Bond. Well, here we are, joined forever as Bondies. Since my introduction to the university, as I said, I've come to appreciate some of what that means, and I look forward to learning more. Perhaps it's the sunshine that has generated such warmth into the Bond campus, but I think that although the campus is particularly beautiful and the Corrigan artwork that surrounds us everywhere is truly extraordinary, it's rather the staff and students that have created and will continue to create an atmosphere of care of the students, of the highest academic standard, of the diversity of students, and of the learning that they gain from their time here. As the wonderful Vice-Chancellor said to me when we first met to discuss my becoming Chancellor, this university is all about the students, and it shows. It's tempting to dwell upon my hopes for Bond and for all who spend time here and to speak of my intentions, but that's not a good idea. First, you all know more than I do, and secondly, this is your day. However, I hope that you'll be ambassadors for Bond and that you will include educating me in what I can do to maintain and even enhance the student experience here. One thing I do know, I've been infected with this university. I also know that it's very different from other universities, and that's not only because it's a private university. The approach is different, the care for each individual student is different, and it's achieved while the academic standard is maintained at a high level. I have sat here as a parent of a new graduate. Mine was in international relations and law, and I kept my fingers crossed till she actually received her testama and walked off the stage. I'll admit that I had tears in my eyes with pride at her achievement, and I'm prepared to bet that she was as anxious as I that no one stopped her in the middle of it and said she wasn't going to get it. Students at other universities with months of holidays do not understand the commitment that it takes to conclude a degree here at Bond. I believe that it's thanks to the way in which the courses are taught and the approach that each student is an individual that has supported you in your studies. That approach and the fact that it's implemented is unique to Bond. When I decided to leave the court and had not made any decisions, a close friend who incidentally had been on the Bond Council said to me, "Whatever you do, do not say yes to the first thing offered." It was wonderful advice, except that it didn't work. When Helen Nugent asked me whether I would consider having my name put forward for Chancellor, the words were hardly out of her mouth when I said, "Yes, yes, yes." So much for advice. Do not treat the words of wisdom that you've received here in the same way. Am I apprehensive about my new role? Yes. Am I concerned that I won't do a good enough job? Yes. Do I have a fear of making a fool of myself? Well, generally, yes. Do I think that I'm the only one who has personal reservations about her own abilities? Yes, until I reflect on the fact that I'm probably not unique in that regard. If any of you are worried that you don't know enough to practice your profession, you're not alone. If anything, that will make you better at what you do. The most important thing is not to be afraid to ask. The next important thing is to learn all of the relevant acronyms. Each area has its own to make newcomers and outsiders feel excluded. Then also remember, do not try to answer questions if you really don't know the answer. We find that happens in court a lot. Go away and work it out and then come back. Trust me, you'll look less like a fool if you do that than if you rush headlong into garbled nonsense. Someone once said that the only thing to fear is fear itself, but have the confidence in what you've learned. Don't be frightened to admit what you don't know. Importantly, don't be afraid to take on new challenges. Your degree today is the beginning of your learning experience, not the end. You can and should take the opportunity to be involved in areas outside your present expertise, and in particular in community work. It will give you breadth, and you'll have fun, and you never know what you've learned or experienced and when it will come in useful. That's how I came to Bond. I took the opportunity to skip the last year of high school, which meant that I had to decide in a hurry what to do at university. So I chose science. I didn't choose medicine because I thought it would take far too long, and I then spent 14 years at university. I left research, which was on sperm, more of that later if you want to know, and I started doing law. I accepted a position on the council of the ANU and then as Pro-Chancellor. I left the bar and went on the court. I learned about parklands on the Centennial Park Trust. I accepted the position of Chair of the National Health and Medical Research Council. I spent time on the Sydney Children's Hospital Foundation, and I've come to Bond, marrying a number of previous experiences, which I hope will enable me to make my own contribution. I mention these things not to sound precious, but to explain how seizing each opportunity has led to another. As well as learning about so many different areas, I've met wonderful people. I'm meeting you here today, and I've expanded my horizons. This in turn kept me sane while I was working hard at my daytime profession. I forgot to mention that I also married a marvellous man and I have 3 amazing children. That also kept me grounded. I think your parents will all understand what that means. Your future is ahead but immediate. Grab it with both hands. Enjoy yourselves and don't worry if you make mistakes. When the time comes to decide on a family, make your decision and implement it in a way that works for you and makes you happy. Remembering that if you are happy, you'll be a better member of your family. Some of you will want to stay home and be with children when you have them, and some of you will decide, perhaps like me, that you're far too competitive to let small children win games. Whenever I tried to play snap with my children, I waited about 1 split second. When they didn't do it, I put my hand down and said snap, and they cried. It was very unsuccessful. I decided I was much better off doing what I wanted to do, not playing the games, let someone else play the games with them and make them happy in other ways, and it worked. So the only thing is, if you do have a family, don't forget to send your children to Bond, so they'll get the same wonderful experience and you'll be feeling the same pride that your parents and family feel for you today. There are wonderful people who've come here today for me. Apart from my darling husband David, who's up here on the stage because he's now an adjunct professor here in the law school. These are also my family, my judicial family. It's a tradition to talk of fellow judges as one's brothers and sisters. That truly reflects the relationship that develops with the wonderful people who have served with me on the Federal Court and whom I've come to know, particularly at judges' conferences from the Supreme Court. They've each left successful jobs to take the opportunity for public service and the intellectual rewards of judicial life. It's not easy and it's relentless, but it has its own satisfactions, not least the collegiality of the court. I thank them for being here, and I thank their partners for being here. Friendships endure beyond professional concurrence, and I look forward to developing similar relationships here at Bond. I know that all of the new graduates will do Bond proud, and I hope that I do the same. Congratulations to you all. Keep Bond a part of your life. We will always be here for you and want to continue the relationship, because continuity of such friendships is important, as you can see today. Good luck.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you for honouring us in taking on this role. It is a role that's very demanding, as I'm sure that our 7th Chancellor, Dr. Newton, can attest. It is an honorary role. It is a role that you must embrace. And I think you have demonstrated this morning by your words and by your connectivity with this institution that you understand the values of Bond University. You understand our mission, which is exclusively student-focused. And you understand, through the choice of your messages, that part of the role of the Chancellor is to have a sense of humour, but importantly, deliver such a powerful message with some sage advice to our graduands, but with such a strong dose of humility. Thank you for taking the time to construct such a powerful piece. It's a wonderful first speech. I look forward to many more. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join with me in thanking the 8th Chancellor, Dr. Annabel Bennett. I'm sure that everyone in the audience here today appreciates the honour that has been bestowed upon not just our Chancellor, but our graduands. And that honour is the presence of the Governor. It's been a great honour, Your Excellency, to have you here today. We appreciate very much your attendance at this great institution, and you are always welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, regrettably the Governor has some other commitments. I would now ask everyone to stand and join with me in thanking His Excellency for his presence here today. Thank you, sir. Thank you. After you depart, I'm going to ask everyone to sit down and you stand. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please be seated? Be seated. So that's the hard bit over. Before we present our individual graduands, the magnificent Bond University Student Orchestra has a piece to play for your pleasure. Please enjoy. Thank you indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, what you may not appreciate is that we do not offer music here as one of our programs. And so these students are students who are studying medicine, humanities, arts, business, law, etc., but not studying music. And indeed, I believe that two of our students are new entrants to the university, having commenced just in May semester. So they've been here a whole of 6 weeks, but obviously fit in very well. As the orchestra departs, will you please once again thank them? I now call upon the Chair of Academic Senate to present the candidates for degrees and diplomas. And at the same time, I call upon the Chancellor to come forward and admit the graduands to their degrees.
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduands who are in attendance today for admission to the awards of Bond University. From the Bond School of Business, 70 graduands. From the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine, 58 graduands. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of the Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit to their awards those candidates listed in the graduation programs who are unable to be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the moment of graduation. Please join with me in congratulating the most recent graduates of Bond University. Graduates, you may be seated.
Chancellor, the following candidates are presented for the award of Research Doctorate. From the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, with the thesis title, Law, Culture, Financial Market Development and Global Investment Strategy, Lessons from the Middle East and North Africa, I present Bayan Mustafa Arkawi. With the thesis title, Women's Boxing, an Investigation into Perceptions of the Female Fighter, I present Christine Teeny Aiken. With the thesis title, Standardized Ginger Extract as a Treatment for Chemotherapy-Induced Nausea and Vomiting, Efficacy, Safety and Feasibility. Chancellor, I present Wolfgang Marx. Chancellor, I present graduates from the Bond Business School. The Interim Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after the conferring of their degree. For the Diploma of Business, Shane Nirmal Aryasinghe. Idong Zheng. For the Bachelor of Business, Danny Blake Allen. Layla Al-Mahdi. Kuan Clegg. Ying Tsui. Chelsea Kate Curry. Blake Emblem. Christopher Charles Fenwick. Sky Christine Giles. Thomas Hill. Cara Holden. Ewan John Lovell. Yan Luo. Kurnia Julianti Nababan. Nicholas Pearce. Joshua Matthew Roberts. Zheng Gao Xiao. Lauren Marie Soers. Yanni Harry Spatiotis. Wu Shuifeng. Jia Hao Jiang. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Walid Ali Ahmed. Chen Qi, Mark Oliver Foster, Charlotte Eliza Clem, Mohammed Hasnain Lakhani, Robin Lau, Daniel McGrath, Cara Lee Wiese, Sophie Wooldridge, for the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Commerce, Joel Cucci, for the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws, James Creevy, for the Bachelor of Commerce and Bachelor of Laws with first-class honours, Adrian Christopher Mitropoulos. For the Bachelor of International Hotel and Tourism Management, Nicholas Augustin. Esther Craig. Melody Fair McNamara. Anna Milietta. Haiqian Zhang. For the Graduate Certificate of Business Administration, Summer Mells. For the Master of Accounting, Zhou Ying. For the Master of Accounting Professional, Ajay Kamuru. Dominika Makosova. Subhagya Sekhar Sahu. Manlin Wu. For the Master of Business, Clement Tiem Bui. Natajak Johnsonak. For the Master of Business Marketing, Tiffany Rachel Roslyn Ferrantino. Edward Samuel Roffey Mitchell. For the Master of Business Administration, Ashley Frances Butt. Serena Janelle Dean. Anya Salihirad. Kayla Warner. For the Master of Business Administration Corporate, Kristen Vickers. For the Master of Business Administration Professional, Manojit Das. For the Master of Finance, Jared Rees Davis. Haiyan Wang. For the Master of Financial Management, Liu Ran. The university is proud of its long association with Business Breakthrough University. Together, we teach a Master of Business Administration program tailored to meet the needs of Japanese business. Professor Sono Kadanaga will present graduates from the Bond University BBT Global Leadership MBA.
Chancellor, I wish to present the following 10 graduates in the Bond University BBT Global Leadership MBA. Yasunobu Akaoka. Itaru Ito. Akira Kasagi. Toshiyuki Kawashima. Emiko Kojima. Sachiko Kokue. Midoriyo 長尾。シュート白髪。秀樹高松。広志吉田。I would also like to read the names of the following 17 graduates who are not able to come to Australia today. Given its online nature of this program, they are living outside this country. So it is being broadcasted through internet and they are watching it with their family at home. Yo Amakusa, Yuki Asai, Rob Chen, Atsuhito Fujii, Chie Horikoshi, Taketo Izumi, Soichi Minakawa, Toshiyuki Nakagome, Masataka Nakazato, Kayo Niino, Kazuyasu Osanai, Shinpei Otsuki, Yuki Saito, Yukihiko Suganami, Hiroyuki Takahashi, Kei Takehiro, Kazushi Yoshida.
Chancellor, I present graduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after the conferring of their degree. For the Diploma of Sports Management, Marine Delay. For the Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Michelle Ferrari Cestari. Marcel Conradi. Jacqueline Lee Caden. Madeline Elizabeth Sherry. For the Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science, Sam Michael Johnston. Byron O'Neill. Katsuhiko Rob Shike. For the Bachelor of Health Sciences, Nicole Sibusasiwa Beba. Hannah Jacoba de Jong. Elissa Geis. For the Bachelor of Sports Management, Jason Everett Averill Strom. Tiffany Amber Rose Colombi. Michael Raymond Jolly. For the Graduate Certificate in Retrieval Medicine, Danny Bunting. For the Graduate Diploma of Nutrition, Stephanie Jane Lindeblad. For the Master of Nutrition and Dietetic Practice, Caitlin Jessie Anderson. Michelle Dorothy Lovelock. Monica Montalti. Marie Abigail Villanueva. Shuning Wai. For the Master of Sports Management, Calissa Ray Brockett. For the Master of Science by Research, Wade Chalker. Brooks Gregory Tholmley. For the Doctor of Physiotherapy, Nicholas Andrew Baxter. Daniela Bremner. Sarah Elizabeth Brooks. Hannah Victoria Cairns. Luigi Caldara. Erin Louise Korst. Scott Willis Chan. Jessica Catherine Evans. Danielle Ferguson. Ansel Furtado. Daniel Philip Godiassi. Lauren Goff. Alexandra Ellen Ironside. Roxanne Jeevans. Carly Jenner. Eva Christine Lim. Anthony John Lucente. Olivia Eleanor McConnell. Caitlin Rose McLennan. Richard William Morton. Adam Frederick Norman. Oliyinka Olorunifa. Samantha Christine Olinik. Christopher Parkinson. Megan Amy Rain. Timothy Rigby. Emily Rose. Nicole Sandell. Oliver St. Baker. Matthew Paul Stewart. Shek Lun Tsang. Joshua Austin Tussler. Gabrielle Christine Vandervoort. Adam Terence Walker. Lewis White. Chancellor, Mr. Mark Johnman has been selected to give the valedictory address on behalf of all those graduating this morning. He is graduating with the degree of Bachelor of Information Technology. Mark has achieved a cumulative GPA of 4 out of 4 in his degree, with high distinctions in all his subjects and an overall percentage average of 95%. In each semester of his Bachelor of Information Technology degree, he has featured on the Vice-Chancellor's list for academic excellence and has been first in his class in 14 of his subjects. He's currently enrolled in the Honours Program in Actuarial Science. Chancellor, I present the valedictorian, Mark Johnman.
Before I get started, please forgive me for indulging in a very stereotypical university moment and preserve this very special occasion with a quick selfie. Taken about 10 photos, so hopefully one of them's good, and if not, that's what Instagram filters are for. Well, good morning, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of staff, family, friends, and most of all, my fellow graduates. Congratulations, you've made it. It's a real honour to be standing before you today, but for me, it's also a little nostalgic. While I still have a few months left at Bond, today marks the beginning of the end of my time at university. And truth be told, I'm a little sad about it. Over the past few years, this place has become a second home to me, and I've grown to appreciate it very much. Doesn't matter where you go, whether it's Don's, the lake, the library, there's always someone you know and someone to have a chat with. Bond is such a diverse place, and yet still retains the intimacy of a family. I've also, believe it or not, learnt a few things during my time here. I still remember one of my first economics classes opening with the statement, "Economics is boring, but not that boring." And if you're not sure what that means, welcome to economics. I've been told that 90% of IT is just bad jokes, which is definitely true. Most of business and politics is just smoke and mirrors. I'll leave you to judge that one. And you can learn something from everyone, even if it's what not to do. That one's really useful in arguments, trust me. I'd like to, on behalf of everyone graduating, thank all those who have helped us to get to where we are today. Our families and friends for supporting us and helping us come to university in the first place. Our teachers for guiding, encouraging and making time for us. The administrative staff for your patience and willingness to help answer our questions. The management staff for making sure everything runs smoothly. And lastly, I have to say it, to everybody responsible for the new gym, thank you so much. It's awesome. As I've been reflecting on my time here, I've also been reminded of just how fortunate we actually are to be in this position. Only around 7% of people in the world have a university degree. 1 billion are illiterate, and 1 billion people don't even have safe water to drink. Over a third of the world's population, 2.8 billion people, live on less than $2 a day. We all know this, but sometimes I don't think we fully grasp the reality of it. These are real people, not just numbers. People like you and me, whose futures are dramatically affected just by where they're born. We're all so lucky to be here, to be graduating with a degree, going to university, and living in one of the best countries on the planet. Education is a great privilege, but it's also a great responsibility. A responsibility to do something with it and make the most of the opportunity we've been given. With that in mind, I'd like to share a few final pieces of advice with you, some things that I think we should all aspire to. The first is to find the middle ground. As we go through life, we come across a lot of issues that can seem to have only two options, one way or the other. And in many situations, this is not quite true. It's easy and convenient to see things in black and white, but real life's often much more complicated. And if we want to really solve problems, we need to acknowledge and work with this rather than ignore it. We need to be careful to avoid painting people and issues with broad brushstrokes, and instead seek to understand the finer details. We need to take time to define the problem before we can solve it. And that's not to say it's not important to have convictions, but on many things, I think more than we realise, it's okay to be flexible. We have much more that unites us than divides us. So take the time to find the middle road and be wary of falling into the ditches on either side. Second is to be people-focused. Sometimes in business, it's easy to get so focused on the numbers and the processes and forget what it's really all about. Fundamentally, business is about people and service. The world's best companies, the Facebooks, the Googles, were all founded with the aim of providing a service. In the 21st century, with all of the distractions and technology we have available, we need to not forget the basics and look after our customers, patients, employees and colleagues. And we need to take time out for ourselves, our friends and our families too. When everything else is stripped away, we're left with our relationships and our values. Don't neglect them at the expense of something that doesn't last. The third is to ask and answer life's big questions. Questions like, what's my purpose? And what does a successful life really look like for me? Questions like these seem a bit strange and a bit abstract. They're hard to answer and they often change over time. We usually don't really think about them, or when we do, we get distracted and don't really end up answering them. But I think it's questions like these that are extremely important. They motivate us, guide us, and show us where we need to go. They give us the courage to take risks, start a new business, or move to a new country. They also give us convictions we can fall back on when the journey gets tough. Steve Jobs once said that every morning he would look in the mirror and think, if today was the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And if the answer was no too many days in a row, he would know he needed to change something. I think this is a pretty good example for all of us. So now, as this chapter closes and a new one begins, I'd like to challenge you and myself to look for the middle ground, to be people-focused, and to not be afraid to ask and answer life's big questions, the ones about purpose and identity. Finally, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for the contributions you've made to Bond over your time here. You're the lifeblood of this university, its best advertisement, and its greatest success. While I don't know each and every one of you personally, it's the sum of your collective involvement here that creates the community we all share. As you go out into your respective careers, I hope you don't lose this sense of community, but would instead draw on it and let it help you as you write your own story and change the world in the way that I know you're so capable of. While it's said at virtually every graduation, my time at Bond has been the best of my life, and I will be forever grateful to the staff and students who have impacted me during my time here. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey, and thank you for being part of mine.
Stand. Thanks, Mark. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that easy to stand up here in front of 1,000 people and to deliver a message which is so personal, yet so broad in its reach. A message which means so much to Mark himself, but means so much to all the graduates here today. Your sense of humanity, the thought that went into that, Mark, is not lost upon myself or indeed the university. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please congratulate Mr. Mark Johnman again. I will now read the Bond University Charge, which is a tradition that we have at every graduation, and then ask the graduates whether they accept that charge. Will the graduates please stand? I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply and to continue to extend your learning to the benefit of society, to strive through your actions to promote the universal worth of all people, to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours, so that in fulfilling your personal goals and human responsibilities, you add to the standing of your university, and to support and uphold your university and its alumni through engagement with the Bond Alumni Organisation and through your personal commitment. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Come on, after all of that. I'll try again, okay? Drum roll. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes. See, they got it. You may now be seated. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to almost the close of formalities here today. Each of our graduates will have had their own personal journey, both into the university and through the university. And we appreciate that in many cases, the circumstances and that journey may not have always been easy. You'll have faced hardship, you'll have faced self-doubt, you will have faced challenges, but you have overcome them. And you have overcome them through your own personal determination and perseverance, but also with the support of many people around you, the support of your peers, the support of the university and the university staff, perhaps more importantly, the support of your friends, your colleagues, and your families. Many of those individuals are in this room today to share the moment with you. I know that you'll find the time to thank your friends, your families, and your supporters in your own personal ways, but I ask the graduating class and offer them an opportunity to collectively thank your friends and family who are here today, and I ask you to join with me and the staff of the university in thanking all of you for assisting our graduates along their journey. As you move from this great institution, the world around you will constantly challenge you, and you will face moments in your journey where you will be challenged and wonder whether or not you will cope. Those challenges will force you to reach deep inside your soul, and they will force you to make a decision. And as you make that decision, have faith and trust that the learnings and the values of this university will serve you well. We have given you not just technical training in your specialist discipline, but I trust that we have also equipped you with a strong moral and ethical compass. And so when you reach those dark times and you reach those decisions where there is a fork in the road, you make the right decision and choose the correct fork. And remember that those decisions will not only reflect upon you, but they will reflect upon your family and they will reflect upon this institution. And forevermore, we are joined by an umbilical cord that can no longer be cut. Your reputation is now our reputation. And just as we fiercely protect our reputation as an institution of higher learning, we ask you to also protect that reputation. So every day when you wake up and look in the mirror, remember that you're a Bondi now. It can never be taken away from you. So treat it as a gift. As Mr. Johnman said, the waste of the gift of education is a modern criminal offence. Do not waste the gift that you have been given. Treat it with respect and at all times act with the highest moral and ethical standards. I wish you good luck on behalf of the university as you go forward. I trust that you maintain a connection with this university. Each year during May, on our anniversary, we hold a special series of events here called Homecoming, and you're all invited to come back here in May 2017 to celebrate with almost 25,000 alumni now from around the world. Go with our blessings, go with our hope, go with our peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been extraordinarily attentive during a fairly long ceremony. So now is an opportunity to let your hair down, so to speak, and to make a bit of noise and for one last time congratulate the graduating class.